So on this lesson, we are going to talk about search and analysis and how you can perform exploratory searching and looking for data in a non-structured way or in a structured way. So there are basically three ways of analyzing your data. So you can perform exploratory data using search data. For example, you can search for free-form data if you know there is some kind of string that you know it's there and you are looking for it. You can explore the metrics using filters and conditions and stuff like that, or you can use analytics that you are going to see on the next lesson. Metrics is the thing that is sent by the clients to the application insights. The data is ingested and is transformed, and it is stored as telemetry as a time series data. So it's something that you can search by data, restrict, and filter by data. There are several types of telemetry that application insights can receive. Those are the ones that are sent by the SDK. They are typed, and all those events that are sent or metrics have properties attached to it, and they depend on the event type. Application insights also can add some properties to some event types. For example, when you send data from the browser, it cannot automatically detect the IP of the client, and it will register with properties like the region or the country, and that is done on the server and not by the client itself. So application insights can contribute with data, or the properties can come from the client itself. There are two types of properties, dimensions and measures. So dimensions is basically a set of values. For example, the country could be a dimension, or measures, something that have discrete values and that can be aggregated. Besides the built-in properties, you can also send custom events with your own properties, for example. One of the scenarios typically that we do is investigate problems. So we look at application insights. We know there is some kind of problem. We don't know exactly what it is, and we can investigate them from several perspectives. For example, we can look at application insight application maps that will show us how all the components in our application relate to each other, who they call. For example, the client calls the server calls other servers or dependencies, or the client calls other dependencies, and you can see as a map to show all the dependencies of the calls that are being made, and you can see on the map if some of these calls are healthy or not, because they have an indicator that shows it how healthy that particular component is. You can also look for failures, for example, requests that are failing or browser exceptions or stuff like that. You can look at performance, either from a client perspective or from a server perspective, how many times the response, the requests are being responded to. In the browser, you can see diagnostics in terms of exceptions, how many calls are being made, which pages are being used in terms of usage, and you can see also the availability of the application. If your application is not available, for example, in Singapore or in Japan, you can see that the application is not available there, but the application is available on the rest of the world, for example, for users that are around the world, regardless of where your application is being executed on. All data can be filtered by event types and dimension values. For example, you can see, show me all custom events of this type that are from users that are in Dublin or that are in Sydney or stuff like that. And you can also group dimensions to segment information. For example, show me all the requests by response time. For example, you can see the failures separated from the success and the kind of failures and stuff like that. So you can do that kind of analysis on the application insights using the browser.